Hi there, now I'm about to show you how to use kinesio tape on yourself, by yourself, effectively, easily, and see how incredible it is for you. However, before I start that, just in case this is your first time ever using kinesio tape, or you want to get a bit more of a deep dive, I've got a video on that where it talks about a little bit of the history, but also how kinesio tape works. And as I say, if you have to pre-cut them and do all that sort of stuff, and it's your first time using kinesio tape, I've got a much more of an instructional tutorial for you. Okay, so you can have a look at that if you want to. Otherwise, you can go through with this, but if you still got questions afterwards, I've got that for you, okay? So don't forget to subscribe, share this, like this, comment if you want to, if you've got any questions about this. And finally, before we get you started, is if you'd like to learn more about kinesio taping, in the description below, I've got my online kinesio taping course. So if you've got other parts of your body in the future that you want to find out how to tape them, that I don't already have the videos on, then you can get that. And so you have lifetime access. So if you want to know like, oh, how do I do that bunion or that ankle or that Achilles tendon problem, any of that, if I haven't got it here, then you'll have that. So any part, any body area that you need in the future, you'll have that in the online course. But otherwise, let's get started. I want to show you how to do a wrist pain procedure. Now, this is for someone, let's say someone's fallen on an outstretched arm, for example, common in skiing incidents. We're not talking about breaks. Well, if someone broke their wrist, then this is after, after the acute stage. But sprains, strains, that sort of thing. Think arthritis in the wrist joints, those sorts of things. So anyone that's got generalized wrist pain, so it was not there, it's it's not exactly here. It's just like and especially if you're a massage therapist, maybe you've been you've got poor technique and you're using two big angles like this, which you shouldn't be if you've done my massage courses. And that will jam up these joints and you can get sore. So this is for that. So just generalized wrist pain. Now we don't want to just wrap a tourniquet around it, and start cutting off circulation. So what you want to do with this one, you want to do it in two strips. So we'll get about the 10-inch long strip. All right. Here's what you want to do. We're going to do it in two sections. Okay. So get that. Split him in half. All right, round off your corners. Do two at a time here. All right. Just talk amongst yourselves here while I get this done. All right, there we go. Oh. So we got our two pieces, and then we're going to put one on here. I'll show you. Now again, if you were doing this for someone, you just rip it in the center like I've talked about throughout the course. Here we're going to lay it down, and I'll show you what to do. Okay, so I'm just going to dry off my arm there, my wrist. All right, so you rip off the paper to get yourself a little anchor there. And you can start it anywhere really. I'm going to start mine at the ulnar side. I just find it's easier. And stick that down, zero stretch of course. And then you grab your backing paper. And we're going to go to nearly full stretch again. So these are decompression ones. So you see that? And then place that down and rub that on. And leave enough for your other anchor. There it is there, zero stretch at the end. So we're going right over the carpal bones here. So these are decompressing the wrist here. And then you do the opposite side. Now when you put this down, don't put it on top of the tape. Because remember, kinesio tape works best when it's stuck to the skin. So you'll see that there. See, the majority of that is on my skin, not on the tape. So you just want to be aware of that if you can do that. And we do the same thing. Go to almost full stretch. This is what we talked about. Decompress. And there you have it. And then lay down your anchor. It's really comfortable. And so that's decompressing the whole wrist right through the bones there if anything's injured and painful in there. So that's what you want to do. It's a really simple way to help with wrist pain. So don't forget to subscribe, like the channel, and also comment below. And if you're ever in Cozumel, Mexico, come and visit us here at Pickleball.